All right, let's get this monkey started. Clean up my sheet. And grab the next thing to work on. What do we want to do? What do we want to do? What do we want to do? Curves. I want to work on curves. I want to work on timeline. Good morning, Stefan. This one's done. Oops. I actually think I'll work on that first thing. Yeah, cable component looks like fun. Someone asked me to do that as well, so I think I might have to cover that. Oh my god, where'd my project go? There it is. So let's see. I'm gonna work on moving the interact and inspect into its own UC folder properly, and then I think I'll work on curves because there's only about an hour or so streamed today, or timelines. Maybe I'll just set up a basic timeline. But let's get the other thing moved over first, which was the what was that? Simple interact and inspect is what I'm calling it right here. Apparently I've already started. Okay, well apparently I've already started this, so this should be simple. Oh wait, can't I just copy the code over? Didn't I fail at that the other day? Let's find out. Let's find my other project. Let's grab its code. Okay. Okay. Let's do this, shall we? Let's start copying code over. Let's see. Okay. Let's make sure our map is using our game mode, which it is. Make sure it's using our character, which it is. It is. Okay. Okay, so we're good. Let's grab this next giant chunk of code and see what happens, shall we? I'm really curious how much of this is going to copy over. Ooh, seriously? Oh. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Let's go back and fix this. Yeah, the spline meshes, cable meshes, all those. The cables look like fun. It definitely does look like fun. Something I might play with at some point. Actually, I got to play with everything in theory, so yeah. Let's see. Yeah, timelines don't copy over with the timeline, which is really annoying. Which will actually work good when I'm working on the curve editor. Curve example. Go. Okay, so let's see. So what did I call? I have a simple pickable object. And then we're gonna get the... Do I have this designed the same way? I don't think I do. Yeah, I do. Cube. Okay. Just making sure. Okay. That should set up that issue there. Okay. Need a new widget. Let's see, pick up text widget. Okay. Inside of there, we did. Yeah, we did an image and we did a text. This is going to be variable. Okay, go back here. Compile. This is going to be a pickup text block. Seriously? Okay. What do you mean? Really? Oh. It's so weird how it'll actually work, but then not work. Okay, so let's see. What else are we missing? Whoa, what in the hell? How did that get all the way? Yeah, that's awesome. Okay. Okay, that's fixed, that's fixed, that's fixed. We're still missing a cube and a cast. Still code everywhere, but I'm not worried about that. Okay, so what do we got here? I always think this would have been easier to redo it, but not a big deal. Okay, this is going to cast from the third-person camera. Okay, cool. Ben Ostman, it sounds like the guy doing this UE4 C++ tutorial on Udemy. Ben Tristram, I think it is. Yeah, Ben Tristo. I wonder if that's who you mean. For you, Stefan, if that's who you're talking about. He does a Unity course and an Unreal course on Udemy. I have no idea if it's gonna work, but it's what we're working on, right? No, it's not Crosshair. It's called what's this stupid thing called? Oh, I hate that. It's not called Crosshair, even though it looks like a friggin' Crosshair. Oh wait, maybe it is Crosshair, but it's only in the UI. Find my project. Let's see. What is this image called? First person Crosshair. Huh. Oh, because I don't have a first person project, it's not going to work. Oh, well, I guess we'll just use that then. Oh, that's a bit big. Let's go 64 and 64. Let's go with that. 5.5, no offset. There we go. Snag to the middle. Text block. size content, slap you on the bottom, no offset. We're going to be halfway in the middle and on the bottom. And the Y will be negative 100. There we go. Let's change you. What are we looking at? Probably 48. And light. E2. Oh, okay, keyboard. Here we go. Let's try that. Okay, I don't think I need any code in here, right? No, okay. So let's see what does and doesn't work, because there's no way this is going to work right now. Okay. Just making sure there's no way this is going to work. So let's figure out why it doesn't work and go from there. So we have a blueprint interface for Pickable. There's our Pickable object. There's our character. There's our game mode. We have our map. We need a player controller so we can turn on clicking. Because without that, we cannot enable click events. So we'll do that, and then we will pull up our game mode, set our controller to our controller. Okay, so that'll at least fix click events. So that should be most of the basics. Let's see if I can figure it out from here. Okay. So let's figure out what is not working. Let's see. Line trace by channel is working fine. If we have something we hit, this is definitely not right. Line trace, there you go. Oh no, I'm just kidding. Okay, so. Oh, so we're not testing against the interface because that was copied over. Okay, let's see what else we may have made a mistake with. Okay. So let's see if we're getting to this point right here in our code. We are not. So what? Oh, because we are not close enough. That's right. We changed our code to work based on distance. We still have a symbol. Okay, so copy paste. You are an evil thing. Okay, I have not created a widget, so that really doesn't help. Okay, which is going to be it's an overlap code, right? Yeah, okay. So we need overlap code for the sphere, right? Yeah. Oops, seriously. Delete, nope, delete, thank you. Okay. So let's put our overlap code for our sphere collision on here. Let's see, and overlap. Okay, move these down a little bit. I'll just copy the code over. Let's see. We got this code for the begin overlap. Oops, other actor doesn't implement the pick upable. Okay, and then we're going to make sure our widget for the pickup text is valid. Construct our UMG for the what the hell did we call this? Pickup text widget. There we go. Set it and add to our viewport. Okay, so let's see if that at least works again. Nope, does not. So is our cube? Did we even do anything with our cube? We did pick upable. Okay. We screwed up block all dynamics, so we should be good there. Oh, what did I break? Let's find out. Oh, huh. I actually never set up my sphere for collision, did I? That would probably help a little bit. Okay, cool. So our text is working properly. I don't know if our line trace is going to work properly, though. Let's find out. Oh, yeah, well, okay. So that'll work properly. Okay, cool. Go back to our graph. Let's grab the code for removing. I'll put this down here. Okay, implement pick upable. Yep, that's our widget. Yep, we're going to remove it. Yep, we're going to set it to nothing. Okay, so now our overlap event should work. Pick up, remove, pick up, remove. Good. We don't have our tick firing. So let's set up our tick down here. Okay, get the viewport size. Let's set our... These things we should not be setting on the tick. So we will... That's part of our code we need to fix. And then this makes our rotator work properly. Okay. So that sets the rotator up properly for being able to rotate. Okay, and our hits are working properly, so we're good there. Okay. All this code, let's see. From an overview, it looks like we're good here. Yeah. So, let's figure out what's broken, shall we? We're getting our location, we're implementing the interface, we're setting the attached actor. This should be moving it in, so let's go to here and debug. There we go, let's see. So we're getting our actor, we're caching the actor's transform, we're firing the interact, we're setting the collision properly. Our timeline is not, my guess is our timeline's not running. Let's find out. Oops, one, resume. Okay, no, our timeline's starting up at least. Oh, yep, that would be an issue. We never set up the timeline for the pickup. I wish timelines would copy over properly. That would be really nice. Come on, give me my name thing. Okay. So that makes sense there. Did the other timeline? Yeah, see, I put the other timeline in. So we're good there, right? Let's name it as well. Where is my... Okay, I apparently screwed this one up. 1.5. So that would not have worked properly. There we go. Okay. So now we'll go back out and we'll test. Okay, cool. That's moving. Unfortunately, because this... Oh, this is gonna be an issue. Okay. Hello, Alex. Hello, Teak. Okay, so the intention was a first person, so let's go ahead and fix our character then. We're going to pull the spring arm off. Yeah. Whoa, that's kind of cool. Wait. Oh, that's cool. I did not know that. So the camera is attached to the spring arm, but if I delete just the spring arm, the camera doesn't go away. It'll stay still on my blueprint. It's now white, which I've never seen before. Okay, I've got a white camera. That's kind of cool. Well, yeah, I can move it. It's just, I'd rather... Oh, crap, I'm gonna have to move it. Oh, I gotta redo all the code. I friggin' hate changing the third-person camera to first-person. I could just literally just do that, and it would be fine. I hate doing that. Yeah. I also don't have, let's see. I'm not, let's see. Pickable anchor should be in front of the camera now. Let's reset it. Holy Hannah Montana. Yeah, there we go. See, that works. Ooh, that's kind of cool. It kind of doesn't help that my item is ginormous. Let's fix a couple bugs, and let's also fix the size of our item. It does not need to be that big. This is gonna be just like a you know what? Let's see, 0.2, 0.21. We'll make this something like a vase or something. There we go. I need to fix the fact the player can move, but that's a different set of code. Okay, yeah, this is probably all due to the fact that I don't have, yep. We'll worry about that in a second. Let me fix the player being able to move. So we lock the player down. That's all part of our mouse movement code. Let me double check. It should be right. Yep, attached anchor is valid. And there's the control. Yeah, okay. So all we're doing is attached actor valid. Just make sure we copy this code as many times as we need it. No, only if we don't have something do we want to move. Like that. There we go. And we want to attach that to our movement code, which disappeared. Oh, here it is. This way we can disable the player from moving. One bug at a time. Okay, let's see if we fix that. Pick up, movement, rotate, let go. Cool. Should get an error. Good. Let's see if we can figure out why we have a random error. Let's see. Access none, trying to read property. Pick up text widget from function. Okay, so is this... Oh, it's kind of cool. Oh, wonder what I'm doing. Let's see. What am I doing wrong here? Is this the code where we're getting the error? I have my thing. I pick it up. The we have my. I have no. Why do I not have a widget? I'm not storing a widget somewhere when I create it. Am I? Let's see. It should be right here. It should be storing the widget right here. Add to viewport. Do that. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Huh, okay. Hello, Namo. Glad to hear you could help. Or glad to hear I could help. So, because this is actually moving the item farther from me, out of range, basically, because my, because this, where'd it go? My attach point. My anchor is actually farther away from the camera. It's triggering the end overlap right here, which is then removing the widget. That's kind of interesting. That's a bug I would not have realized unless I had done exactly what I did. So what's the smartest way of fixing it? Probably we'll just do a really simple if we have an attached actor valid, we'll just run another valid node on the attached actor, and only if we don't have something attached will we remove. Okay, come on code, there we go. Okay. Let's try that again. let's not have the debug text. Okay, there we go. So that fixes that. I'm thinking the cursor should probably be hidden when we're interacting with something. So that would be probably a nice little feature to add in there. And let's put that inside the widget as a function because that would be smart. You can just tell the crosshair to hide its widget. So we'll make a new custom event. I'll do hide the crosshair. We'll do toggle the crosshair. Now hide the crosshair. Damn it! I hate toggle because technically we're going to take an input. And yeah, I guess toggle would be better. Let's see, crosshair widget get set visibility. We should be able to do a select here, right? Because selects are way more fun. And we only need 2 nodes instead of a bunch of nodes. There we go. And then plug that into there. If it, let's see, is enabled. So if it is enabled, we're going to show it. If we do not want it enabled, we are going to hide it. There we go. So now I should be able to here we go, set the text, press E to drop the item, grab our text widget, and toggle the crosshair. And we do not want the crosshair being shown, like that. And then we should be able to, let's see, press E to pick up our item, plug that in, and toggle our crosshair on, like that. Okay. Now let's see if that works. Crosshair, we can move around. Crosshair should go away. It's kind of cool how it's red. I have no idea why it's red. Oh, that's the... Oh. Is that the... Am I line tracing still? I bet you that's what it was. I hope that's what it was. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. So we can still rotate our items perfectly like we expected. Good. E to drop the item. It goes back to where we picked it up at. Cool. And obviously you can adjust things based on what you want it. Cool. Okay, cool. Cool. Now I need to make a better example other than just a stick, and then I need to clean the code up. Let's see. Let's see. Off topic, but do you know how you'd be able to create a dynamic resolution that scales up and down based on load in order to keep frame rate consistent? I have never done that. I guess it would just be based on I mean, you technically have the see, here's the problem. Okay. Actually, that seems like it might not be too hard to do if you just want dynamic resolution. Crap. Okay, Nemo. There's a couple different things. The general way of doing dynamic resolution, the 3D resolution, is with your scalability setting, the resolution scale, right here, where you know, you can run your different scale here, basically. So you have 100% is your player's scale, and then you can lower it down. Well, you could get the frames per second. That's not even an issue. Getting the frames per second isn't a problem. I think the easiest way of doing it would probably be using the resolution. See, okay. Okay. When I think, this is the reason I'm having a problem putting this into words. When I think of dynamic resolution scaling, I think of the real professional way of doing it, which is actually changing the internal renderer, like most of your console games do, where it'll actually, like Halo will scale from 1080 down to like 900, depending on the load. That way they maintain their constant 60 frames target. And that's not too bad to try to achieve just by using the resolution scale. This is settable inside blueprints. You can get the, you can get the game, use your settings, and you can set the scale for the resolution scale. So you could do that right here, set resolution scale value or normalized. Either one of these works, and then you could set it in real time. But if it's gonna, Halo does other things too, other than just adjusting the resolution. They will do things like changing your shadows and what appears on the screen, which is a lot more complicated. But if you just want something super simple, you could just do this. Basically use these two nodes together, have a better scale value between your 0 and 100, or you have the scale normalized. Either one of these will work. I cover both of them basically. And then you could, you have your tick, which I'm already using. So I think I just stole my, no, this is the widget. Okay, that's not an issue. So you could have something, let's see. Let's see if there's something we can do here. So you'd have something like a target frames per literal float. You'd have something like your target frames per second, which would be 60. You'd have your delta time. I'm trying to remember the proper math, but basically you'd want it more like this. Let's see. What's the stupid math for doing this stuff? Let's see. 60. Let's see. You have a. What is it? It's that, right? It's 1,000, right? 1,000 divided by that. So if you did if your delta time was 20, and you multiplied by 1,000, that's obviously not it. So you want to hit. I'm trying to make this as adjustable as possible, which is what I'm aiming for right here, and it's involving math. Well, the problem I was bringing up the visual settings is the visual settings generally have a hitch. That's the problem you would run into using the default Unreal stuff. Changing the shadows, changing the textures, any of the scalability settings. If you adjust any of these with the easy to use nodes, generally will hitch rather than being instant, and that's something to be concerned about. That's my only concern. Resolution scale is usually pretty instant and isn't an issue. It's these things that could cause an issue. Like if you were to take your shadows from epic to low, or even something like your view distance, you might cause a hitch in the engine, which isn't what you want. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can get some math working here. Give me a second. So print string delta. Fucking the code's literally the code for finding frames per second. If you ever, for fuck's sake. Okay. We have, let's see, my constant t dot max FPS 60. Okay, so we have our 16 milliseconds to achieve 60 frames per second. Well, multiply by 60. See, so if we do multiply, whoops, that's definitely not a multiply. For fuck's sake, multiply by 60. Oops, that's 2 nodes in there now. I guess that really doesn't matter. Then I guess you're aiming towards 1. Okay, so that's going to give you something around 1. So I guess that's good enough. So if we multiply then basically by our FPS cap, and our goal is to hit 1. So if we're over, well, if we're over 1, it's not an issue. So it'd be, if we're less than 1, and you should have a tolerance in there, but let's say if we're less than 1, then obviously we need to adjust our goal to hit. So you're going to want to do something like this one right here. And this will set our thing. Now, this is what I'm trying to turn into math. Normalize means between 0 and 1. 1 is going to give us 100%, which is what we want. But if our value... Okay, so I guess technically if our value is less than 1, what if we just simply plugged it into here? How horrible is that going to work? I mean, technically that should adjust our scale in real time. So if we do like... max frames per second 10. Yeah, see, I don't think that's working properly. Whoa! Oh, that was horrible. T-dot max. Oh my gosh, I can't type at 10 frames per second. Oh lordy, seriously. Okay. Okay, so this is going to take me about 12 tries to try to get max FPS working, apparently. Thank you. Well, you can't have a, you can't have a higher than 1 for your scale. I mean, I'm assuming you want, well, if we're doing this, for example, if our frames per second, let's say our frames per second was, this is why I'm trying to get this working here. This is my whole, here. Like I said, math is not my strong point. Seriously, for duration. Okay, so we're aiming for 1. So let's say we're hitting 45. Yeah, okay, so we are going to be above is what we're going to be. So, yeah, so that's definitely not going to work. But if we normalize the values, it would work. Because if we get, technically, if we have 30 frames per second, would we get 2? Is even running at 30. Yeah, so we end up with 2. Yeah, this is math. I mean, it's, if we can basically, we want our value between 0 and 1, or we want it between 0 and 100%. So I guess grab our, we'd have to compare it to our goal then, right? So if we have, this is going to be our value of 1, and our goal is going to be 1. So if we take this value and divide it by 1? Let's do the calculator. Where'd the calculator go? Okay, so we want 1 divided by 2. Okay, so we want the goal divided by our achieved value. That's what we want. And then this is going to give us what we want. That should give us what we want right there. Whoop, that would be hitting the wrong button. I mean, that should, right? No, I'm all I was doing was cleaning up the object movement. That really wasn't even an issue there. Oh, okay. And the reason this isn't working is because I'm a dum-dum and I'm not actually applying the settings. Yeah. Okay. At least pretty sure. Yeah. This should give us the result we want, right? Let's find out. Plug U2. Plug U in. Get rid of U. Get that for the string. Let's go ahead and print that out. Okay, let's see what this gives us. Oh, because this is no, yeah, it's greater than 1. So yep. So let's see, greater than 1. I'll get you, my pretty, at some point. There we go. Okay. So that's, we're running at 30 frames per second, so we'd want half scale, for example. We run at 60. Yeah, see, we're going to run into a small issue, but that's just stupid rounding point. I'm not even worried about that. It should stop completely, so we're good there. So if we run at 30 frames per second, we want half resolution scale is what we want. Which is what I want. So yeah. Obviously you don't want to run these every time unless there's a big deviation. But why is this not working? Or is it working? And wow, look at that resolution scale. We might want to adjust that. See, now I don't have anything in the game. I don't have anything in this level that's going to help me easily tell that the scale is changing. That's my biggest issue here. Sphere probably would work, right? Not really. God damn it. Or is it only going to work when I'm in a standalone? Ah, well, let's find out. Well, it's going to jitter because Unreal Engine by default is not meant to do this. You'd have to actually do frame rate smoothing, probably. Well, or scalability smoothing. That's kind of cool. That's some big numbers there. That's cool. That's horrible. Yeah, you'd want to, okay, can I close my project? Thank you. You'd want to do something where you don't actually, like, move it immediately like I'm doing in here. Yeah, because the biggest issue is if you have a hitch, you're even the smallest hitch, even if it's more than a couple frames, you're immediately going to drop if you do something like this, rather than aggregating this over a couple frames. So if like your total percentage scale is going to be 20% or something like that, you'd want to run it over 10 frames or something like that. Make it where it's not instantly. So that way if it recovers, you're only seeing a small dip rather than a large dip for one frame and then back to the other, which is, you know, an issue. But I mean, this crappy code is the basics of making it work. That sounds like fun, actually, though. Do I auto scalability system? How can we make a system that will automatically try and hit a target frame rate? Okay, yeah, let's try that. I like that. That's an idea to toss in for something fun to work on. Let's go back to our other thing. I don't even remember what we were doing. I like literally don't remember what I was doing. Wait. Holy crap. See, look. That's 1%. That's not good. That was 1%. That was horrible. Okay. And let me uncap my friggin' frames per second because that's friggin' starting to annoy me. There we go. Okay. So yeah, this works. I think I just need to clean up the code. Oh, I need to come up with better examples of what I was doing. Let's clean up the code, then I'll come up with better examples. So let's start with that, shall we? Let's just get this cleaned up. Let's see. Are we animating an object? I think I need to slow my typing down. Is attached to us. Detach the item. Set our timeline is firing Google. Those stupid things. Let's see. Let's start our animation alert timeline. Let's see. We'll fire that one off here. with this ugly, ugly, ugly. Let's see, how can we easily... Oh man, look at all that code we're gonna have to move. Let's see. Let's just move you down here for now. That way you're at least not like horribly in the way. Okay. You're good there. You'll be good there. We can not too worried about that. There's really nothing I'm gonna be able to do with some of this stuff. I mean, I technically have a bunch of crossing wires. There's really not much I can do. Let's see. Something like that. Honestly, that's not horrible. You know, that could be a lot worse. Well, there's nothing I can easily do because, I mean, I'm going to have crossing wires no matter what I can do here. I mean, technically, I guess this one's the A and that one's the B, so I could do that. That'll help a little bit. They're at least in tune at that point. And these things are organized together. Yeah, that's not horrible. That could be worse. Set the new location and rotation for our item. Copy paste both. Copy paste both what? I mean, I could add tons of extra little wires in here, but I mean, does it need it is what kind of matters. Which I don't honestly think it does need it. It's you have 4 different colored, you have 4 different colored wires. There's no confusion about the same colored wire. So that at least helps. About the only thing I could do is, you know what, I like it like that. You know what, and that one I can actually straighten like that. Yeah, so that'll work. Okay. So this code can be moved over here now. Like that. This is going to be set the transform of the item back to where it was. We picked it up. That's good there. Let's put the code here. Let's see, we've got the cube. Oh, okay, this casting is gonna, yeah. What should I make? I guess if I just named my stuff less, I wouldn't have an issue with these long names. That's funny. Let's see. Allow our item to collide again with the on. There ref. This is not needed since I'm not. Yep, that's not needed. That was an old leftover code. Let's see. Hide our cursor. Allow us to fire the animation again. Set our pickup text and turn the crosshair back on. Turn the crosshair back on. Okay, that's some awesome commenting right there. Oh, see, yeah, see, that looks so much cleaner. That's not ugly. This is stuff. At some point, I need to. You know what? I don't need to say something. Let's collapse that down to a macro because I can do that right now. Look at that. Look at that cute little macro. Get start. Get trace points. There we go. See, that was super simple. And who cares if this is ugly because it's inside of a macro. No one ever looks inside of macros. Apparently I broke something though. That's kind of cool. I wonder what it broke. The hell did I do with my player character? Huh. I mean, my controller. I think I got rid of it on accident somehow. That's kind of funny. Okay, well, let's go back over here. Hello, Plautus. Plautus. Wordis. Let's see. So let's... what happens if I just straighten that one? It's definitely not going to do what I want. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Are we within... Are we close enough? Close enough to the up item? Are we close enough to the item? Let's see, this one is a pickable item. Pickable item. Should probably just turn this into an AND since they're both running off of true. That seems like it's an unnecessary node right there. What if you just do an AND? Like that. There we go. Yeah, that'll work. And then we could do this to clean that code up a little bit. We'll set this one and this one to straighten. That was not what I wanted to ask her. That'll work like that. That'll work. Yeah, it's close enough. No one cares. We're close enough to the item we can pick up. Let's see. That code. Let's go. Whee! Give us some room. There we go. Store ref. Yep. Then we're going to store where. That's where. No, that's where. No, that's where we picked this item up from. Right, give me my comment. Thank you. No, that is not where we picked up this item. Oh crap! I have to store both of them. That's right. Yep, and then yep. Store where we are going to. That's right. I ran into that funky little issue before. Set the bool because we are animating, and that's animating. That's not gonna work. Let's see. Disable our collisions. You know, seems like something I should macro as well for code cleanup purposes. Just simply getting the cube. So I can easily do that. Like that. And this will be the get attached cube. Which I should not be getting the cube either, but for my example, because technically this should probably be a mesh. Yeah. Anyways, that's for people to figure out when I tell them. Disable collision with on. Ooh, look at all this bird poop of a mess. Jeez, look at that. There we go. We'll set you here. We'll set you here. You are, let's see, are you the top one or the bottom? You're the top, so you're gonna go here. And you're gonna go here. We're gonna combine points. Like that. That'll work. And then view over like that. Oops. Yeah, like that. Grab my white wire, bring you back down like this. Up like that. I don't know what anyone heard. I know nothing. Okay, so this is our revision. This is going to be our timeline for the animation. Gonna set our new rotation, which should have been capitalized. Go. Let's see. Make sure our location of the item is correct. Oh, I moved this stuff way too far over. Whatever. I'll grab it. Let's see. There we go. And then we're gonna attach the item to us. This is a macro now. Yay! Get attached to cube. Which you can't drag and drop. That's annoying. Let's see. Disable collision on the item. 1 o'clock. Oh yeah. That's an alarm. Okay, and then we can move this stuff over here. And this should be all pretty self-explanatory. Show the mouse. Allow another animation to fire. Show that we drop the item now. And hide the crosshair. There we go. This stuff is still ugly, so we'll fix you. Straighten you up, and voila! Give me my comments. You can do it. There we go. Wow. Move that over. Try to move this up. There we go. All right. See, look at that. That's a lot cleaner. I don't have any comment over this one right here. Don't allow the left mouse button to... Oh wait, no. Keep track of if the player is holding the button. That's what that one was supposed to do. Holding the button down. Holding the left mouse button down. There. Now it's at least properly worded. Put you there. I'm gonna dock you to there. Alright. So this will be show our UI when the player is close to an interact pickupable object. Object. All right. How hard is it to make a Android game? Is it easy? How much time does it take? I want to know if it's worth learning. Technically, if you are creating a game using an engine like Unity or Unreal, then it's only a little more harder to do Android than PC, depending on the type of game. If it's something simple like a puzzle, you can basically just fake mouse clicks as touching, and one game can pretty much work on both platforms as long as your user interface is good. If it's something more advanced like a first-person shooter, then it becomes a little more difficult as you have to take into account virtual joysticks and things like that. I've done Android games using Unity. I've done Android games using Construct, which is an HTML program, and I've done Android apps using straight C#. I do not do them now because it's nothing I want to develop. If you mean like Zombie Flower. I don't know what Zombie Flower is. You mean like what type of game is Zombie Flower? I guess. It's not much more difficult to make an Android game than a computer game, a PC game, or OS X, a Linux, I guess technically, assuming you plan for it in advance. Converting a game from PC to Android will definitely be more difficult because your controls probably aren't designed for it. There we go. Okay. Okay, apparently we are missing a giant... Okay, so this is the code we were going to fix. This code should not be there. So we need to set this in our begin play. Do I have a begin play event? I do not. Okay. So we'll put that right here. Because there's no reason to do this more than once. Just simply caching two variables. Like that, yeah, see, okay. And then store our half width and height on startup. There we go. Okay, so this should actually be like there. Okay, so that code. Let's move this over. Move this over. These are important things. I better movement and disable when the player has something attached. There we go. So I can remember that for later. Okay, let's move you back down here. Okay, so every tick, we're gonna see if we have something clicked on, and if we do, we don't need to print the string out anymore. Because that's just ridiculous. We're going to go through this giant sucky bit of math. Let's see. How can we organize this much crappy math? Okay. Oh, hold on. It's less crappy than I would have expected. So that's getting there. And then multiply. I wonder if there's a way... You know what, I bet you there's a way to turn this into a math expression. I'll worry about that in a second. Oh, my phone went off. Come on, good news. Oh, Plants vs. Zombies. Should not be too difficult with Plants vs. Zombies. You can make that in 2D or 3D. You can basically, if you have your project settings for input, you have mouse for touch. So you could basically design it around touch, and you can know where you touch on the screen. If you have allow mouse for touch, you could basically have the same game work on either platform without an issue. You can then for example, in your player controller, you have the ability to enable click events, touch events, mouse over events, etc. So you have things like touch events. And then on the item itself, you should have, like let's say you have your plant or whatever it is, you should have the ability to, right here, you have input, touch, begin, end, enter, and leave. So if you create all your items as blueprints, meshes, things like that, they can receive touches, and it's an interface game. So tap something, on touch begin, keep track of it. They tap somewhere else, on touch, begin, move the item over. So it's pretty easy. Yours is it's a really simple touch game. Dragging isn't too hard. Track where it touches, track when it leaves. I mean, it's a little bit of work. Dragging, dropping, things like that, where it's actually in your interface and not on an item, such as swiping left or right anywhere on the screen to simulate rotation, is more difficult in Unreal than just simply interacting with objects. Plants vs. Zombies is an interaction type game, so it shouldn't be too difficult, honestly, to emulate an Unreal Engine. I would not see that one being a problem at all to do. My phone went off, but it wasn't for me. Right, what? The hell? Oh, Malachi. Oh, what the hell? Okay, hold on a second. I'll be right back. I'm sorry about that. Okay. Oh, apparently one of my kids played hooky from school today, and I did not realize it. That's always awesome. Okay, so let's see. My level's not high enough. I'll watch more tutorials. Hopefully, get a decent level. Yeah, not a problem, Plautus. But to give you an answer, creating a game like Plants vs. Zombies and making sure it works on Android inside of Unreal Engine would not be much more difficult than learning how to do it normally for the computer. You can basically mimic clicking the mouse and touching with your finger and doing the same exact stuff. So it should be really simple. It's just a case of making sure your interface fits properly and all that stuff. So I say go ahead if that's something you want to do. That sounds like it would be fun. A fun little project, basically. Okay, there we go. Let's see, we've got a rotator. Rotate on. There we go. That's really ugly, actually. I don't like that. Yeah, mainly because I don't want... Yeah, look at all these nodes that are not going to be lined up. Yeah, that's close enough. Okay, so this is going to be my code. Let's see. So what does this code do? I don't remember. Oh, that's right. This is the main code. Rotate the item based on the mouse position and the center of the item we are holding. Only do this if something is... if we are clicking. There we go. Okay, cool. Move this over here. Drop that there. How many months does it take to create such a game? That is a question that's not easy to answer. To break it down, you could take months to years to create the art, depending on how big you want your game to be. The core mechanics, let's say it's a lane-based game, you put stuff in, stuff happens, probably could be done by an advanced programmer in a week, because it's not very difficult of a concept. Level creation plus balancing could take months by a professional team, just because of how important that is. The balancing and the level creation is the entire game itself. The mechanics are very minimal. So I could see someone doing a passive... I could see someone doing a game jam version of it with a very minimal amount of levels with no art. so a couple days. I could see someone doing a clone, basically a month or so of programming and tweaking plus art creation time. I could see someone making a real game with real things in 6 months to a year if you put the professional polish into it. One person, depends on your quality. It's as simple as that. I could make a clone of Plants vs. Zombies with crappy art using cubes and flat materials in probably a week. But by clone, I mean a level or two and the basic mechanics. Not necessarily any cards or skill building or deck building or skill trees or any art or any storyline or any balancing. The basic mechanics of 5 lanes. I mean, because it's not very difficult. You're talking about, you know, a board with 50 positions roughly, 5 times 10, 2 different lanes, 5 different lanes, maybe 10 positions per lane. You create a basic thing where it goes into a slot and you can move it. The enemy AI basically just advances forward based on its maximum movement, so that's not a problem. Combat is pretty simple. If 2 things are next to each other, they can initiate combat and something happens. And it's a set of turns with a goal of basically getting something down to 0. Either, I think hitting all of your lawnmowers down to 0 or whatever it is. The hardest part for a game like that would be the art, correct. I would honestly say the hardest part would be the art. The second hardest part would be the actual level design and the game design. Balance. Correct. And then if you're just making a clone, I mean, if it doesn't bring anything to the table, there's no reason for anyone to even play it. If it's just the same game. So you'd have to come up with your own types of unique ideas or things like that. Okay, so our interact person is done. Our player controller is useless. Our item is useless. So everything's inside of our character, isn't it? Okay, so let's just make a let's do something. Let's see how stupid we can make something. Stupidly stupid. Let's see. Oops, I didn't want to do that. Let's go like that and like that. Let's make like 1. We'll make this into we'll make that into, there we go. We'll make that into a shelf, and then we'll grab another cube under it, and we'll go like that, and we'll stretch this like this. Turn this kind of like into a what do we want? Kind of like a desk, I guess. Yeah, we'll go something like that, kind of like into a desk. There we go. And then we'll get rid of that. And we'll call this, let's turn this into, I'm gonna have to fix this. Yep. I can't do that because of the rotation of the scale. Funky monkey. I'm gonna run into the same issue as the other one. Oh well, let's just duplicate this. We'll call this a simple pickup bowl. We'll call this a scroll, and we'll call this one a what? We'll call this one an apple or something. Apple. Yeah, we'll just go with an apple. We'll turn this into something like that. We'll go 0.2. Color this to, I hope I have red in here somewhere, right? Yeah, there's red. That's good enough. That's an apple. So, bam. We'll drop an apple into the scene like that. And we'll have another apple like this. Grab ourselves a scroll and rotate it like that. Put a scroll into the scene like that. Maybe rotate it like that. We'll duplicate it out a little bit. Duplicate one up and over like that. Yeah, okay. So let's give this one a material. Blue. I don't have a... Oh, no, that's a cube. That's not going to work. We need an actual material. A blue. I have no idea what that's going to do. Okay, so in theory, should be able to pick up items. Yep. Obviously, now that things are the right size, our interface is horribly, horribly not good. So let's find our pickle anchor. Let's drop it over here. Let's try this. I ran into an error as well. There we go. So that's a little better. Here's an apple. We can drop it. We ran into an error. So what error are we running into? Why are we getting an error there? Oh, friggin'. People, leave me alone, seriously. Yes. I'm getting harassed by people. I just want to finish this up. Oh, people, let me finish this up. Let me figure out what I broke. Because I don't know what I broke. Oh, crab apples. So, the casting is gonna fail every time because I'm a dum-dum. Oh, crab apples. Okay, so we need to actually change this into a pickupable object. And then we need to duplicate this into the scroll. Of course, the stupid redirectors are in there. Okay, let me save everything. Let me see if it'll let me fix the redirectors. There we go. Let's see if that worked. There we go. Because this is why you need things having parentage, or you're gonna run into an issue. Yep, that was me. I should have had. Oh, and of course I screwed up on that one because this should have been a child as well. There we go. That way when I cast, my code will work properly. Just what I should have done in the first place. Okay, so select these three. Replace them with the scroll. So that should be right. Grab my apple. Let's turn this back into an apple. Like that. There we go. Now we can get our apple back. And we'll give ourselves another apple. There we go. So hopefully we'll be fine now on that one. Oh, come on, people. This side? Sorry, I'm trying to procure a copy of Final Fantasy 14 right now. Final Fantasy 15 right now. And the person finally got back to me for going to pick it up for me. Oh my gosh, you are not cooperating here, website. There we go. Oops, where'd it go? Use my credit. Yes. Oh, crap. Damn it. Sorry. Oh my god. I literally have been waiting 2 hours for them to get back to me, and now they're doing it instead of earlier. Okay. There we go. We can pick up some stuff. We can observe some stuff. Things should go back exactly where we picked them up. The correct item should work. So, like, here's a stack of scrolls. That'll work. See? Look at that. That kind of cool. You might want to add in some stuff like fading out the background or stuff like that. But that works. Okay. So that'll work. That'll work for my example. I'm happy with that. I'm going to take the time then to wrap up the code. I appreciate everyone for hanging out. I swear to God, no one will leave me alone. Anyways, I appreciate everyone who hung out. I appreciate everyone watching, asking questions, and commenting. Tomorrow I'm going to work on timelines and curves. My normal schedule will be for tomorrow around 10 o'clock in the morning because no stream. Everything got done today, so I'm happy about that. I've got to friggin' handle people, so it's highly annoying, but I appreciate everyone hanging out again. Any questions, comments, feel free to ask me whenever you want, wherever you want, however you want. I will get back to you as best as I can. And that's going to be it. I'm going to wrap it up now. I'm going to put this on mute for about 30 seconds so I don't just disappear.